This is Chapter 4 in the story of a fiberglass wholesaler whose director's unconventional hobbies brought his business crashing down. As liquidators, Worrell set about securing the planes as listed on the company's balance sheets and depreciation schedules: 3 Grummans, 2 Stinsons, and a Cessna valued at just under $750,000. We thought a fleet of planes in a fiberglass business would be easy to spot, but we were mistaken. Our inquiries with CASA identified the company's planes were not registered in the name of the company, but rather in the name of an individual who we learn is the director's ex-employee and friend, Darryl. To get the story behind the transfer of the plane's registration, we summoned Darryl to a public examination. He attests the director signed over the planes to him as a gift shortly prior to liquidation while the director was on his deathbed. Given the director's lifelong dream of owning a vintage aircraft museum and using in excess of $2 million of his company's funds to make that dream a reality, these plane transfers out of the company was just another example of the liquidators experiencing some wind shear. The court grants interim orders for Darryl to not fly or move the planes, but keep up the maintenance. However, Darryl refuses to let us inspect the planes or the logbooks, which are imperative to retain the plane's value. Meanwhile, we go to court asserting our case as the rightful owners of the planes, which Darryl continues to contest. A mediation is organised between us, Darryl, and the respective teams of lawyers. The discussions break down. Outside the doors of the mediation room, we reach an agreement for Darryl to sell the planes over a 9-month period and pay us the sale proceeds along the way. We thought this was a fair deal, considering the costs of storing and maintaining planes can be sky high. Strangely, months later, Darryl doesn't seem to make any progress with the sales, and our lawyers begin to worry as the deadline looms on the horizon. We remained mindful of the potential legal and storage costs of taking possession of the planes, and so took upon us to meet with Darryl, again one-on-one, and soon after, he writes us a cheque in full payment. Having sidestepped the courtroom a couple more times, we were able to net a substantial recovery for the company's creditors. Lessons: 1. Registration doesn't always prove ownership. 2. There is a delicate balance between legally tying someone's hands and gaining their assistance. 3. Commercial and better financial outcomes can be achieved by a sensible and practical approach. Tune in next time for Chapter 5. Catch me if you can.